I don't know if you know, but I heard eggs were expensive, and that was going to be the priority of Donald Trump. Yeah. I laugh because if you can't laugh, then it's just tears, it's just depression, it's just trauma, it's just anxiety, and I can't live like that. Donald Trump was on with Maria Bartiromo, the conspiracy theorist freak who brought us an election conspiracy that was emailed to her through Sidney Powell from a woman who seemed to be mentally ill, who said that the wind, the wind told her she was a ghost, but she didn't believe it. And that the Hugo Chavez in Venezuela, who's been dead a long time, he actually interfered with the election somehow. And then Maria Bartiromo took parts of it that weren't so insane or could be believed by MAGA world and then broadcast that on Fox News. Somehow she still has a job, and somehow Republicans still believe the things that she says. Anyway, she interviewed Donald Trump over the weekend. And in this interview, there was a real short clip of him talking about the revenge tour that he is on. And under color and the weight of the federal government, he is attacking and going after private law firms. And I've got his executive order here that I'm going to show you. But I want to play the clip. And then I'm going to read a little bit about really what's at play here with him going after this specific law firm. On a White House page, we'll throw this up, it's a proclamation of how it's a retribution angle here against this one law firm that happened to work for Democrats or Hillary Clinton or something. It's all pretty opaque because the objective here is just terrorizing private entities. But here is the clip, and then we'll get to explaining it a little more fulsome after.
I just saw you sign executive orders for law firms. One of the law firms was Perkins Coie, that was the law firm that had the Steele dossier.
Yeah, they had the Steele dossier. They had a lot of other things, and we have a lot of law firms that we're going to be going after because they were very dishonest people. They were very, very dishonest. I could go point after point after point, and it was so bad for our country. And we have a lot of law firms that we're going after.
Low energy nonsense, right?
They had the Steele offer. They had a lot of things. Can we get this done? I want to go golfing.
This is a problem. One, they're so bold that they're going to go after law firms that have armies of lawyers who will fight this. It's going to have a chilling effect on speech, though, and that's exactly what they're going for because they're not supporters of free speech. They can talk about being champions and First Amendment absolutists and all this nonsense, but they're going after people for what they've said, who they've supported, what they've done. This is illegal. It's unconstitutional. This is a headline from Reuters. Trump orders targeting law firms raise constitutional concerns, experts say. That's a real polite way to say he's violating the Constitution of the United States, Reuters. Maybe work a little harder on your headlines. President Donald Trump's executive orders terminating security clearances and taking other actions against two prominent law firms may violate constitutional protections and represent exceptional acts of retribution against lawyers who have crossed him in the past, according to legal experts. Well, I thought they were going to set their attention to the prices and the economy. Wow, weird how everyone knew this would happen except for the people who voted for Donald Trump because they thought eggs were expensive. How are those eggs prices now, dum-dums? The two firms targeted by the Republican president have represented Trump adversaries. Perkins Coie represented the campaign of 2016 Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton, who Trump defeated in his first campaign run. Covington and Burling currently represents Jack Smith, the special counsel appointed during Democratic former President Joe Biden's administration, who brought criminal charges against Trump in two cases. You see, here's the thing that is just deeply rooted in American jurisprudence, and that is the right to counsel. You have a right to an attorney. Whether you've done something as reprehensible as exploiting children or representing somebody who Donald Trump doesn't like, all of it's covered. You have a right under the Constitution they claim to love to an attorney. Legal experts interviewed by Reuters said the manner in which Trump targeted the firms could run afoul, this language, could run afoul of the United States Constitution's First Amendment protections against government abridgment of speech and Fifth Amendment guarantee of due process, a requirement for the government to use a fair legal process. And then here, Trump on Thursday directed Attorney General Pam Bondi, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, and all U.S. agency chiefs to restrict access by lawyers at Perkins Coie, a firm founded in Seattle, to federal buildings and in their security. They can't even go in federal buildings. These U.S. citizens can't enter federal buildings. It's like he thinks that they're in league with Osama bin Laden's allies or something. Here is the White House. This is the White House website that is proclaiming their retribution tour. By the authority vested in me as president by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, it is hereby ordered, Section 1, the dishonest and dangerous activity of the law firm Perkins Coie has affected this country for decades. Notably, in 2016, while representing failed presidential candidate Hillary Clinton, this is just written like a personal grievance letter from Donald Trump, except it's housed. It can be found on the website of the White House in the United States, representing the words and the declarations of the President of the United States, not as Donald Trump, the douchebag, but as the President, the office of the President of the United States. The same office that Democrats, harumph, I can't believe Al Green stood up and defied the president. Mark Warner, I owe the president his due. You have more respect for the office of the President of the United States than the current dickface who holds the office. Perkins Coie has worked with activist donors, including George Soros, says the White House website, to judicially overturn popular, necessary, and democratically enacted election laws, including those requiring voter identification. In one such case, a court was forced to sanction Perkins Coie attorneys for an ethical lack of candor before the court. This coming from Donald Trump, whose lawyers lied in court over and over and over and over, especially in matters related to an election. Does anybody remember 2020? And then finally, this little ditty here. In addition to undermining democratic elections, says the White House of Donald Trump, representing Donald Trump, the man who undermined democratic elections. I'm not even going to continue. It's such horseshit. Retribution. See, it's not about the economy. It's not about prices. It's not about easing financial burdens on Americans. It's about Donald Trump's personal grievances. It's about revenge. It's about retribution. It's about using the weight and the power of the presidency of the United States against his perceived enemies, people who disagree with him, people who represent legally his opponents. But eggs were expensive, everybody. What do you think? You can comment below. You can call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me, daily@dollemore.com. Check out becoming a channel member. Go to my Patreon page. Both those are great. Check out dollemore.com. You can buy some merch or a t-shirt or a tote bag or a mug or a new car. No, there's no new cars. Anyway, I love and appreciate you very much. Follow me on social media. I'm at Dollemore, and I will see you next time. We're going to get through this. It's going to take a while, and things might get worse before they get better, but we will get through this. I'll see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.